Never do something permanently foolish just because you are temporarily upset. Anonymous. I once had a student who came into class wearing a white bandage that was extensively wrapped around his left hand. Naturally inquisitive, and because I care about my students, I asked him what happened. He demurred at first, but eventually mumbled something unintelligible. Unintelligible means difficult or impossible to understand, and it was clear to me that he didn't want to give any more details about the injury, so I just dropped the conversation. The next day in class, I noticed that he was not wearing his bandage, and this is when I saw just how swollen it really was. Coincidentally means unlikely or a chance occurrence. This very quote was the one that we talked about that day, and as I was asking the class if they had ever done anything hastily that they ended up regretting, hastily means something done in a hurry. Another student was pointing and smiling at this young man, who just the day before had donned a bandage on his hand. At that point, the cat was out of the bag. The student who was pointing fingers informed the class that the other student had gotten angry over something trivial and punched a brick wall. Trivial means small and unimportant. Not wanting to miss this teachable moment for the sake of the other students in class, I asked him, "How long did it take you to regret your decision to attack a cinder block wall?" He reluctantly replied, "About 20 seconds. We experience many emotions in a given day, and they can make us feel like we are on top of the world, or they can make us feel like we want to hide underneath a rock. Regardless of how pleasant or unpalatable our emotions are, we must remember that they are also transient and will change often, sometimes without notice. We can't really control the emotions that we experience. However, we can definitely control how we choose to react to our emotions. It's definitely not always easy to react appropriately to strong emotions, but if we ever let our emotions take center stage over our rationality and logic, we are headed for trouble. Just like the young man who punched the wall, we may temporarily dissipate some of our negative emotions with an action that is born of an instantaneous lap of ratiocination. Ratiocination is the ability to think clearly. But we soon learn that those consequences only compound the interest that we were already paying on our emotional loan. So the take-home message of this quote would be, resist emotional impulses.